Hello YouTube divers, this is WaterDive 122, and today I'm going to be doing NFL playoff predictions for this weekend's games. Now, the regular season is now behind us. We now know which teams are in the playoffs and which teams are not. We now know which teams are going to get the first overall pick. And we now know which teams, and we now know how the draft is going to be working this year. So, what we're going to do is that we're going to take a look at all of these games, plus we're going to look at the playoff. We're going to look at the playoff seeds. So, we're going to do that first. So, before we get into predictions, here is the playoff tier, starting with the AFC. You've got your four division winners here: the Chiefs, Bills, Steelers, and Titans, respectively. Chiefs are the number one overall seed. They clinched that in Week 16 with a tight 17-14 victory over the Atlanta Falcons, who I'll be getting to in a minute. The Bills, God, they're dangerous. They scored 56 points against the Dolphins last week. And I know I didn't do predictions last week, but I could not have predicted this to happen. Because the Bills won, the Dolphins are out of the playoffs, and you'll see what record they have in a minute. Then you have the Steelers at 12-4. They won the AFC South, the AFC North, also in Week 16 against the Indianapolis Colts. And then you have the Titans, who clinched the AFC South last week over the Houston Texans. Oh, what a game that was. A.J. Brown came up clutch. Derrick Henry now has 2,000 rushing yards, as many of you already know. And then you have the Ravens, Browns, and Colts, who are your three other wildcard teams. Man, the AFC North, probably the toughest division in the AFC. You have three playoff teams from that division. And of course, the Colts, they're still dangerous. Don't overlook them. Then you have the Dolphins. The Dolphins, I did a personal power rankings list coming into Week 17. I had the Dolphins at 5th. Boy, was I wrong. So, yeah, Dolphins are a little bit overrated. Sorry to you Dolphins fans. But y'all couldn't get it done. Your stingy defense literally allowed 56 points against the Bills. Which is, the Bills are a good football team, don't get me wrong. But that was just embarrassing. You had everything on the line, and you couldn't even beat a Bills team that was resting some of their starters for most of the game. That is just embarrassing. Then you have the Raiders. What a disappointing season it's been for the Raiders. They had a promising start, and then they finished the season 8-8. Typical Raiders. Then you have the Patriots, who are not in the playoffs for the first time since 2008, and they are 7-9. What was the last time they had a losing record? Let me know down in the comment section below. Then you have the Chargers, who are also 7-9. Of course, the Patriots beat the Chargers back in Week 13, so they hold the tiebreaker against them. Then you have the Broncos, who are 5-11. Another disappointing season for the Denver Broncos. Then you have the Cincinnati Bengals, who are 4-11-1. Then you have the Houston Texans, who are 4-12. Disappointing season for the Texans. I wouldn't be surprised if they traded Deshaun Watson and J.J. Watt. That would just be typical Texans. Then you have the Jets, who are 2-14. Probably going to get Trey Lance or Justin Fields or Mac Jones or Devontae Smith. You never know. Then you have the Jaguars, who are 1-15. Moving on to the NFC, over here we have the Packers. We have the Green Bay mother-loving Packers over 13-3, sitting atop the NFC. Then you have the Saints and Seahawks, both 12-4. Then you have the Washington football team, who won the NFC East with a 7-9 record. Isn't it fun playing in the NFC East? Then you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 11-5. And then you have the Rams and Bears getting the final two wildcard spots, 10-6 and 8-8, respectively. And then, speaking of 8-8, you have the Cardinals. What a disappointing year it's been for the Cardinals. They had all this hype. They got DeAndre Hopkins, and they couldn't even make the playoffs because they collapsed. That just goes to show it's basically a repeat of the 2019 Browns, except you're 2 games better than the 2019 Browns. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings and... Minnesota Vikings at 7-9. Another disappointing season for them. San Francisco 49ers 6-10. Lost season. Too many injuries. Yeah. And then you have the New York Giants and Dallas Cowboys. Giants finally got their first win over the Cowboys for the first time since 2016. Congratulations. And then you have the Panthers, the Lions, and the Eagles at 5-11 and 4-11-1 apiece. And then you have the worst team in the NFC, the Atlanta freaking fracking Falcons. Sorry, Falcons fans, but y'all blew it. Y'all blew so many games this season. It's just funny. Now we're gonna get into the games. So we're gonna start off over here to the left with the AFC tier. You have the Titans and Ravens, Browns and Steelers, and Colts and Bills respectively. Of course, I've got all the home teams winning. I mean, the Titans. Honestly, the Titans-Ravens game could go either way. The Ravens could actually win that game because the Titans' defense is absolutely terrible. But I think Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry and that offense will do just enough to keep the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. And I know the Ravens do have a good defense. I know that. But the thing about this, the Titans' offense always gives the Ravens' defense fits, and that's basically why I'm giving the edge to the Titans, because I think their offense will do just enough to keep the ball out of Lamar Jackson's hands. And if they don't, then the Ravens are going to win this game. Then you have the Steelers and Browns. They play tomorrow night at 8:15. Rematch of the last time the Browns were in the playoffs. They lost 36-33 to the Steelers over at Heinz Field. Steelers... Yeah, the Steelers should win this game, especially with the fact that the Browns don't have their coaching staff. I mean, much of their coaching staff, including head coach Kevin Stefanski. So, there you go. Then you have the Colts and the Bills. I think the Bills should win this game, mainly because of home field advantage. But, the Colts are very dangerous. If their stingy defense comes to play, then they could give Josh Allen some fits. But, same thing with the Bills defense. If they give Phillip Rivers some fits, this will be a very interesting game. So for that reason, I've got the Bills winning. And plus, the Bills have been playing some pretty darn good football. They've been the best football team in December, without a doubt. And yeah, I think they should beat the Colts today at 1 p.m. So we will see. Then moving on to the NFC, you have the Buccaneers and Washington football team. Yeah, the Bucs should win this game, even though both these teams have really good defenses. Washington has the best secondary in the NFL, while the Buccaneers have the best rushing defense / pass rush in the NFL. So we will see how that goes. But I think the Bucs will win this game because they're mainly a better football team. Then there you go. Then you have the Seahawks and Rams. Seahawks, this game could go either way. It just basically depends if Rams quarterback Jared Goff will be playing. If Goff plays, then chances are the Rams might be able to steal this one. But I don't know. They were able to take care of business last week against the Cardinals. So this could go either way. But for now, I've got the Seahawks winning. Then you have the Saints and Bears. This one should not really be any competition at all. Saints are just an all-around better football team. They're the most balanced team in the NFC right now, basically in the NFL. But the Bears do have a good defense, so I think the Bears should make this a little bit interesting. But I don't expect the Bears to win. So, yeah. There you go. So the Saints win that game. So, there you go. So, this has been my NFL playoff predictors. Of course, playoff predictions for Super Wildcard Weekend. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs and Green Bay Packers are both on first-round byes because they're the top seeds in their respective conferences, and they'll be playing next week. So chances are you'll see them in next week's prediction video. So, with that said, thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is WaterDive 122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.